Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Football, and this is the Matchday 8 tip show for the UCL Fantasy. The round of 16 second legs are coming up. This is when we know which teams are going out and which teams are going through. So as usual, in this tip show, we're going to cover a couple of different things. So you're going to be taking a look at my team, the best captains for this match day, the best differential for this match day, and also my match predictions for all the Matchday 8 fixtures. And let's get straight into it. So I did my team selection video already. So if you already watched that, I've still not made any changes. I'm still waiting for obviously the deadline, before the deadline when the team news comes out. But at the moment, this is how my team is looking. I do have Kepa, Diogo Costa in goal. I have Theo Hernandez, Grimaldo, Cancelo, Romani, and Di Lorenzo at the back. Musiala, Bellingham, Mario, Vinicius, Kvaratskhelia in midfield. Haaland, Osimhen, and Messi up front. So I've already made one change this week. I've taken out Perisic and I've brought in Rahmani, and I've gone for a defense double up on Napoli. So that is how my team is looking. I'm still going to make the other two subs. There's still a couple of players who might end up leaving my team. There's Kepa, he might not be there. Cancelo, he might not be there. Musiala as well is an option to take out, but most likely it's going to be a goalkeeper who I'm going to take out, and potentially either Cancelo or Musiala, mostly Cancelo. So that's how my team is looking. There's a lot of other options, like I can take out Musiala for Mahrez. Mahrez is an option to bring into this team. I might bring in another Benfica player. That is another option, but it's going to depend on what kind of team news we get tomorrow from the Chelsea game and from the Benfica game. And then obviously join me for the deadline stream. That is when I'm going to be making my decisions. But that is how my team is looking. So without wasting any more time, straight away, let's go to the best captains for this week. Obviously, very, very good fixtures. We're going to take some of the ideas from what we saw in the first legs and probably pick our captains from that. So I've picked out a couple in terms of best captains. I've gone for 3 of them. I'm not going to talk about the Chelsea Dortmund fixture. It's going to be very, very tough. Actually, I'm going to give you the best captains from every single game, but I'm going to give you my first 3 first up. The first one is Joao Mario for Benfica against Club Brugge. I think is probably one of the best captains this week. He scored in match day 1 in the previous match day, in match day 7, and he's obviously scored. He takes penalties. He's been on great form. Benfica have been on great form, and they really enjoyed pretty easy game away at Club Brugge. So now going to Benfica, I think they could score 2 or 3 goals once again. So that is my first option in terms of captaincy. The second one is Osimhen, just like Joao Mario, enjoyed the first leg against Frankfurt. He had 3 shots in that game. He earned the penalty which Kvaratskhelia missed. He also scored in that game, and they had a total of 18 shots, Napoli, and that was away from home. So if they play at their own place, which they are next week, they could easily score another 2 or 3 goals, or maybe even more, and Osimhen will probably be on the score sheet. So Osimhen is the second captaincy pick. The third one is Riyad Mahrez. He always does well for Man City in the Champions League, especially over the last 2 seasons. He scored against them in the first leg, and he's playing at home against Leipzig. The last time I think Man City played against Leipzig at the Etihad, it was like a 6-3 win. So if it's anything like that, you want to have more players than Haaland. So if Haaland scores, someone is probably going to assist him, and someone is probably going to score the other goal. So you want to have Mahrez is like a differential this week, basically, on top of Haaland. You have Haaland, and you also have another Man City player. I'm not really keen on their defense. I think Leipzig will score, so Mahrez is always a good option. And also, he was rested in the last game in the Premier League. Unfortunately, they have another Premier League game before they play this fixture, so we have to see what happens between Crystal Palace and Man City, which kind of lineup they have in that game. So those are the 3 captaincy picks for this week. In terms of all the fixtures, I'm thinking Joao Felix against Dortmund. He could do well in that one. Bayern PSG, now that Neymar is out for the whole season, leaning towards Bayern Munich, so I'm probably going to go with the likes of Sané. Tottenham, Milan, not really keen on this fixture. I'm actually going to go for Harry Kane, just because they're playing at home and he's on penalties. Porto, Inter Milan, if we were guaranteed to have Lukaku starting, I'd actually pick him as a differential captain, but we are not sure in terms of that. But anyway, I'm still going to go for him. I feel like even if he comes on at halftime, we can still do something. So my differential captain, I'm going to go for Lukaku against Porto. Man City, Leipzig, I think if your captain hasn't returned by then, you probably have to go for Haaland. Napoli, Frankfurt, I've talked about Osimhen, so I'm going to actually go for Lozano. He's been doing well recently. He did well in the first leg as well of this fixture. Real Madrid, Liverpool, I think it's definitely going to be Vinicius. He always has a run against Liverpool and he always does well against them. So those are the captains I'm picking from each of the matches. And then next up, let's talk about the best differentials for this week. Who are the best differentials for this week? I am going to go for Coman first, Kingsley Coman. Just like the other players I've talked about, he scored last week. I'm not just picking players who scored last week, I'm picking according to the fixture as well. Even if he didn't score last week, I'd still have gone for him because he has a good record against PSG anyway. The time they played them in a final, he scored in that fixture as well, and he's been on good form. And now that they're playing in Germany as well, Bayern always have a thing with the Champions League, and I think the Neymar thing will kind of hurt PSG. So I'm going to go for Coman. Is only owned by 2%. And then the second one is going to be Kim from Napoli. Most people will have Di Lorenzo, other people will have their goalkeeper. So I feel like Kim will be a differential, or any other of the players from the back four. It could be Ramani, it could be Oliveira. I feel like if you have two of them, if everyone gets a clean sheet for Di Lorenzo, you're going to get the extra one with another defender. So I think that could help you cover the gap if you're trying to cover the gap, or if you're trying to extend your gap at the top. So Kim is my second differential. So those are the two players I've picked up as differentials. Next up and lastly, let's go for the match predictions for match day 8. So here we go. The first fixture is going to be Chelsea against Dortmund. I have gone for Chelsea to win that game. 2-1 will take it to extra time, but I feel like Dortmund will get the edge maybe on penalties or in extra time, but Chelsea will win the game 2-1 in terms of 90 minutes. They actually played really well against Dortmund away from home. They had a lot of chances which they missed. They could actually easily have gotten a draw or win in that game. So 2-1 for Chelsea. Benfica Club Brugge, I'm going to go for another easy win that will take it to 5-0 on aggregate. So 3-0 to Benfica. Club Brugge have done very well this season. Well done to them. But I think their run has kind of their strength and know-how of the Champions League has kind of run out. Bayern Munich PSG, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. That means Bayern Munich will go through. And then Tottenham AC Milan, the last game of the first week, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, which means AC Milan will have won that game 2-1 on aggregate. And then next up in terms of the second week, I've gone for Porto and Inter Milan to draw 2-2. That means Inter Milan will go through. Man City to beat Leipzig 3-1. I'm expecting a lot of goals from Man City in that one. Leipzig will still give them a game, though. It could easily be 4-2 or something. I've gone for Napoli 3, Frankfurt 0. I think Napoli will have another easy game. And then, Frankfurt have to go for it, and I think that will open spaces for Napoli. And then lastly, Real Madrid, Liverpool. Can Liverpool do a miracle and win their 4-0? I don't think so. I feel like they'll score a couple of goals once again, but Real Madrid will get 3, and that will take the aggregate to 8-4. That will have 12 goals in 2 games. So Real Madrid to win that by 3-2. So that is how my matchday 8 predictions are looking like. That is how my team selection is currently looking like, and also that is how my those are the picks for my best differentials and best captains for this week. Obviously, join me for the match, the deadline stream on Tuesday, right before the Chelsea Dortmund match and Benfica Club Brugge match. We'll be deciding which players to go for after we see the team news. We'll be answering you guys' questions as always. As of now, thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.